How's it going, Jack Attackers, and welcome back to another video for you guys. Today I am going to be doing my review for Daredevil Season 3. Wow, man, this season was crazy. But first, remember, if you guys are new, make sure to check out my social media and vlogging channel down in the description below. And without further ado, let's get into this. So I guess I'll kind of give my general thoughts on this season and how everything played out, and kind of give my thoughts on all the characters. So basically, to be honest, when I first started watching this season, I was kind of concerned because I thought it started off relatively slow. Not that it was bad, but I'd say roughly the first 5 or so episodes, it took a bit to get on. And to kind of get exciting, at least for me. I don't know if that's how everyone feels. I don't think so, really, because I'm really just hearing great things about this season. But man, this season was fantastic. And I guess I should start off saying, do I think it's the best Marvel Netflix season? I don't know. Because the first, 5 episodes weren't great. They were good, but they weren't amazing. And those are just my thoughts, but the second half definitely was a lot more exciting, and I say around episode 6, it was crazy. Maybe an episode or two in between episode 6 to the rest of the season, like episode 6 to 13, maybe an episode or two there was kind of but to be honest, the finale, everything. Pretty much once Agent Poindexter gets the suit, the Daredevil suit, and then they have that fight at the Bulletin between Matt and Agent Poindexter. That was when shit got really hit the fan, in my opinion, and it was really, really good. The character, Special Agent Nadeem, I forget Ray Nadeem. He was a good character. If you felt for him, and then obviously this is a spoiler warning. He ends up dying in episode 12, and it really hits you. And that's one thing I should mention. This season just hits you with the emotions, and there's just a lot of them. It is crazy. It's so good. Yeah, but if I had to point one negative out of this entire season, really, pretty much the only negative, let's be honest, because the acting and writing was pretty great, but the pacing, that first half, it was necessary, for the most part it was necessary. It was fleshing out characters, especially Ray. Some of it focused on Ray, and they kind of need to flesh out his character, because, well, he's dying in a couple episodes, so they need to flesh his character out. I understand, and while these first episodes were necessary, I can't ignore that it did drag on a bit. But then episode 6 had me hooked, and it was just really phenomenal. Crazy. The adaptation of the Born Again storyline, also I should mention, was pretty interesting. I liked that they actually had Sister Maggie as Matt's mother, and he finds out later in the season about her being his mom, actually, and that was really compelling and just exciting to see that unfold. And I just love his reactions. Charlie Cox acting in this was crazy, and especially in the finale. I think one of the best parts this season was when he's yelling at Fisk and he goes, "I beat you." You can see the veins bulging out of his neck. He is turning purple. He is just screaming. Charlie Cox is phenomenal. I still can't believe I met that dude. That's fucking crazy to me now that I think about it. I'm just I met that guy. That, it's just, man, it is so amazing. And yeah, overall, this part of this season with Foggy and Karen and Matt was pretty good. And I don't know, I thought the Karen kind of bottle episode, episode 10, was kind of slow, but also I kind of liked it at parts. And obviously the church fight was at the end of that episode, which was fucking amazing. So that really makes up for the first 40 minutes of the episode or so. It was still good. And there's not a bad episode in this season, really, but it's just, I don't know, in my opinion, some of the episodes did just kind of feel like slower than others, but overall, it was just great. I can't really say much more about it. You know, it was pretty intense. The fight scenes were amazing. The hallway fight, I should mention. Um, the hallway fight itself wasn't that great, but the cinematography and the one shot was so damn nice. And yeah, that was really just dope. So I guess now kind of going into the Kingpin Wilson Fisk stuff. Speaking of Kingpin, dude, the scene when Ray gets involved with the FBI and the dealings with Fisk and him working for him, and he says, Fisk, what do you guys all work for Fisk? And Agent Poindexter's like, we don't even say his name in this room. We call him by his code name. And Ray's like, oh yeah, and what's that? And he's like, Kingpin. Oh, dude, I lost my shit when that happened. I was like, okay, this is epic. Like, this was crazy, and what they did with Wilson Fisk's character in this was really great. Kind of sad, though, because I have a feeling we're not going to see him for a little while, or as a main villain at least, because how this season ended with him going to prison, and it felt like more of a sure deal. But to see him in Season 3 as a main villain again was really awesome. And, man, I really enjoy Vincent D'Onofrio's acting. Really great stuff. He's very, very intimidating, and that's something I applaud Vincent D'Onofrio for being, because it was just really nice to watch him on screen and just be so fucking scary and intimidating and whatnot. So, yeah. Going into Agent Poindexter's kind of story now, Bullseye, whatever you want to call him, they kind of like to do these things with the Marvel Netflix shows, like for the main villains, or like big comic book villains, they kind of like give them a season to breathe before they actually become that villain. For example, in The Punisher, they kind of had Jigsaw, kind of Billy Russo, kind of have him be Billy, not really Jigsaw, and he gets the scars at the end, so he's not really Jigsaw yet. And Poindexter's not really Bullseye yet. I mean, he is, but he doesn't have the suit. He doesn't have the suit. He's Bullseye, but not really. And I thought the end scene was kind of stupid. I wish they did, my ideal end scene would be Matt jumping off a building, kind of like Batman with the Daredevil suit on. Like, he hears a scream and he just jumps down. That'd be my ideal ending, but, you know. So to see Bullseye, that's probably going to be a major thing going into Season 4, which I'm so down. Do a suit. They'll do a suit. They'll do a suit, right? Hopefully. But yeah, man, those are my thoughts on Daredevil Season 3. Let me hear your thoughts on this season down in the comments below. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you're new, and I will see you in the next one. Peace. Boop.